All right, guys, today in front of me we have K.Luke, batch number 10 of their blended straight bourbon whiskeys. Again, this is a blend of high and low rye mash bills coming from Kentucky and Indiana. I can't believe we are on batch 10 already when batch 9 seems like it just came out. But definitely excited to get into this one, guys. Without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, so as I said, this is a blend of the high and low rye mash bills. This one comes in at 120.2 proof, which I believe may be the highest so far. Not 100% sure on that, but it's the highest that I've seen, at least from these last 5 or 6 batches. Let's get in the nose. Further away, I kind of get this sugary kind of like powdered donut, and then there's like a slight little bit of some citrus there, more so some orange than some lemon. It has a very kind of like creamy and dense nose on this one. It almost reminds me of one of those kind of sugary kind of peach rings, but maybe in like a donut form. Definitely comes off kind of sweet, some subtle kind of fruits there, and again, further into the glass you pull out some more of those baking spices like that allspice and that cinnamon. Let's get in the palate, y'all. Cheers. So on the front of the palate, comes off very sweet, like a one of those honey kind of graham cracker sweetness there. Nice kind of caramels and vanillas there, kind of intertwining with that honey kind of graham cracker. Center of the palate gives you like this slight little bit of some rye spice, just a slight little kind of rye kick there. Not anything that's overboard. I couldn't really tell the difference in proof on this one though. Even clocking in a little bit higher than 120 proof, it's not showing there on the palate. Back of the palate, subtle kind of sweet oak on this one. Some of that honey kind of transfers through into the back as well, at least on that first sip. Slight little peppery note, like some white pepper there, following through with some of that oakiness. Let's get a second sip, y'all. Cheers. I really like the dark kind of honey note on this one. That's not something I typically get a lot with some of the K.Luke stuff, but that honey kind of graham cracker there on the front of the palate still like applies that sweetness with that caramel and kind of vanilla that's still kind of intertwining. Middle of the palate again, that spiciness kind of died down. That kind of brought forth more of that sweet oak that I was getting there on the back of the palate. But there is a subtle kind of fruitiness to it. I can't quite pick it out. It's almost a mixture of like some red fruit and some dark fruit. Maybe a slight little hint of like some strawberry, maybe a little bit of apricot kind of in there. I like the way it kind of bounces around with some of that oakiness, that sweet oak there in the back. So it's more like a sweet kind of fruity oak. A little bit of some white pepper there. Again, as it kind of flows down through and into the finish. But the texture on this one, the mouthfeel on this one, I like. It's allowing those kind of oils to kind of sit into the palate and maintain some of those flavors there still around the tongue and the soft palate. Let's get a last sip, y'all. Cheers. Yeah, honey, and honey. That front of the palate is just like sticky honey sweetness there. That honey graham cracker, that caramel vanilla still kind of showing its face. The spiciness and the proofiness on this one have really kind of died down. I don't know if that's due in fact to the oiliness on this one, but it's just really it's way more kind of saturated and kind of just like embedded into my palate right now, and like on the sides of my cheeks. There's a lot kind of going on this one, which is a little different for me. So there's still some of that fruitiness there on the center of the palate, where that spiciness was, and it's like an apricot, strawberry, a little bit of some dark fruit there, sweet oak still now that opened up to it, and then it's still kind of flowing into the back, so that sweet oak still kind of flows through into the back. A little bit of some white pepper, but that honey, it like now has kind of just transferred from the front all the way through into the back, and it's just like this slow kind of pull. It's like slowly pulling and like lingering down into the finish. I get more of the spiciness now on the back of the palate in through the finish than I do on the center of the palate, where you would typically get some of that rye, that spicy kind of rye influence, or some of that proof when it really hits you. Now it's really kind of gravitating towards the back of the palate as it kind of throws down. Beautiful batch here. by K.Luke. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I want to give a big shout out to the team over at K.Luke for supplying with the sample here to review on the channel. Guys, this one is definitely, for me, it's very honey forward, very dense and rich, concentrated. Kind of allows those oils to really set in on the sides of the cheeks, the palate, soft palate at the top there. Just kind of maintain that flavor, and it has a really nice finish to it. It kind of just slowly kind of pulls down, lingers on. Really nice batch here though by K.Luke. If you guys want more reviews like this, hit that subscribe button, bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You can also find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. Until next time, guys, stay dusty.